What's going on, people? We're live. Match reaction of Mumbai versus KKR. It looked like a one-sided game in KKR's favor, but suddenly the Mumbai Indians, defending champions, working their magic, incredible, and they win. They win the game out of nowhere. I have with me Mumbai Indians fan, as you can see, Puneet. What's up, man? How are you?
Good man, obviously after the game on cloud nine.
Yeah, amazing victory with me as well. KKR fan, Milan, man. Very unfortunate. I think you guys bowled beautifully. There's brilliant captaincy there, and batted really well. I think the last 10% of the game is where you failed and failed miserably. But your initial thoughts? You're making the debut. Thank you so much for joining me. Magar, आपके initial thoughts क्या है?
Thank you so much, Musti bhai, Punter bhai, for welcoming here.
No.
Yeah, about the game, KKR. First of all, I'm really impressed by Morgan's captaincy. It was really on point. The way he actually used his bowler against the best batsman like Rohit Sharma, how he wasn't able to, play a lot of shots initially because there was the Harbhajan, Varun. They ball actually really well, line and length. And yeah, and the fielding was really good. They didn't drop any catches, unlike last games. If you
Yeah.
see, they were actually dropping a lot of catches. And that is the reason a lot of actually team lost in a crucial time. And Kolkata in that way, in terms of bowling, in terms of fielding, was really good. And till 15th over, they were batting really well. But I was unfortunately like Morgan, Shakib, Rana. They actually threw their wicket away. Yeah, that was I guess they cost the match.
Yeah, and Vinay, your thoughts on Andre Russell? He bowled brilliantly, but with the bat, he just couldn't hit. Man, what happened?
Today wasn't his day. He was trying all his luck basically to go for the big hits, but it wasn't his day.
But there's some issue going on. Milan, yeah, last year, he wasn't getting those big hits. Even last game against Sunrisers, and then again today, he just wasn't timing the ball, and it ended to be like a crucial kind of thing because if he stayed there till the end, he should have probably won the game for KKR.
It should actually because to be honest, we are so focusing on his batting.
Mm.
We are because of the 2018 or 2019, he had a really good year, and we are hoping that he's going to finish the match all the time. And he is actually a lot of time he has done in previous time. But if you see whenever he started when he started in KKR, he has been a really good death bowler or a bowler, I would say. He's always taking wickets, he's always stopping the runs, and he also bowled really well. So yes, he's actually playing a power hitter role just like Hardik Pandya and Pollard. But yes, the batting is a really issue for for Russell, and he needs to focus on that. But the reason is now a team like Mumbai, Chennai, they have a special plan for Russell. He's been playing really well in all over the world, right? And now bowlers know where to bowl, and where how to stop Russell. And well, in that way, Mumbai is the champion team. They rely on their stats and their planning. So yeah, they did really well. I was not surprised that he didn't actually perform well because he's been having a very low score stats. But I was really impressed by his death bowling. It was on
Yeah,
point.
that was brilliant. Punter, man, a bit about Mumbai. I think with the bat, Surya Kumar, we'll just talk about him. Wonderful batsman. He's in brilliant form. But apart from him, even Rohit Sharma, like he scored runs, but apart from Surya Kumar, no one really looks at it. So do you think it was more of the pitch?
Well, definitely something to do with the pitch. But we saw Rana from KKR and Surya playing so well. So I think batsmen just had to get themselves in, play those first 10 balls, and then go for their shots. The lower batsmen were just trying to up the tempo really quickly. I think they lost the way that way. They had to stay, and actually the main thing, the main issue I've seen from last two games is that they're not rotating the strike. They're only going for power hits, and they're not rotating the strike in especially the last 5 overs,
That's a good
which
point.
is
Yeah.
key, and that's where they're losing those extra 10-20 runs.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point, I think. Yeah, Milan, Bolo.
I have something for Surya Kumar Yadav. We all know how good is batsman. But the good thing about Surya Kumar Yadav is he never allows any like run rate to stop. Whenever he comes to the crease, doesn't matter how many wickets fall down. He actually took the pressure on himself and allows Rohit Sharma to play his innings single doubles. And to be and teams generally they make plans for Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya, Pollard. But to be honest, they should make a plan for Surya Kumar Yadav and Kishan, because those guys actually allow to Rohit and Hardik Pandya to give a good score, and they can go and just hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Punter bhai.
I thought KKR should have definitely made a better plan against Surya since he's an ex KKR. They should know him in and out how he plays and
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
him.
But to
Yeah.
be
No.
honest, he has improved a lot. So we cannot compare with the last Surya Kumar Yadav when he was playing with KKR.
I think KKR let him go at a very
Yeah,
crucial.
that was a big mistake.
Vinay, how would you rate Nitish Rana's innings? He played beautifully, but then when you're set, do you expect him to finish off the game?
Yeah, I think he should have finished up the game. It was his game to actually finish off. He played brilliantly. I think back of the mind, what I thought for KKR was they knew Bumrah was going to bowl the death overs, and they didn't want to take him on, so they tried
But
out.
even then, there was single double would have done the job. They didn't really need to hit Bumrah, so I don't know why they were so worried.
No, it was he wanted to take on the spinner, but the spinner was bowling beautifully in that pitch, and Chennai being spinner's dream, I think they should have played him much better, giving away
Yeah.
the wickets.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why commentators were also saying the same thing, that Shakib is trying to target the spinner and keep less runs for the last few overs. But I think the single double could have easily got them the game over.
What I think is because there was a short boundary, and Morgan,
Hmm.
Shakib, the all left-handers were actually trying to get more runs on the spinner and use that short boundary, because there was a 2 overs left for Bumrah, and they didn't want to put pressure on their death batsmen.
Yeah, no,
One
that
one
yeah,
good
sorry,
thing,
Vinay.
one good thing Mumbai did while batting was they played the spinners on the ground. They didn't try to hog them over on everywhere to the boundaries, and that's where I guess KKR lost the plot in between in that final overs.
Yeah, and punter Rahul Chahar, man, I was actually very critical about Mumbai spinners, but I felt they should have played an extra spinner on this pitch, but he did the job, 4 wickets, and it was good to see. I mean, Rohit as well, his captaincy was brilliant. He brought himself on, then he
True.
tried something different. He assessed the conditions really well, but the
Yeah.
way he used Rahul Chahar, he knew that I can't save him. I need to bowl this guy out, and he needs to take wickets, and that's what happened.
I think Shubman Gill throwing away his wicket to Rahul Chahar gave him a lot of confidence, especially after Shubman hit him for that six.
Yeah.
I didn't think he needed to step out again and come down the track. So
Yeah.
I believe he is a good bowler. He just wanted that something to work on his favor, and it did. And then the way he was bowling, especially the ball which went for byes four, which Quinton missed as well, and because of the extra bounce. So he was getting some extra bounce. He was getting some extra turn as well. He was bowling stump to stump. He was trying to not do different variations. He was sticking to his line and length, and that was really good about him. Even Krunal, if you see getting that wicket of Shakib, if you see the ball, he bowled way before the crease and giving less space to the batsman to clear the shorter boundary, and then dropping Russell Cotton Bowl. That could have been a crucial change, but thank God it didn't.
Yeah, that's why it's strange. Russell got dropped twice. Milan Magar फिर भी he couldn't finish off the game. When you get 1 or 2 chances, normally batsmen of his caliber they finish it off. You saw Samson yesterday, even Rahul. जब एक दो chance मिलता, they make the most of it. So you're surprised a bit with that?
Yeah, when a good batsman get a chance, they make it big. And Russell didn't want it to. Russell, there was no pressure actually, to be honest, because he's been playing on a surface like this, and also he was not scoring runs. And so on the other side, there was a Karthik, who was a good finisher. He actually played a really good knock last match. So he had to just go and perform, like just hit 2 or 3 sixes. That's all, and he can do that. But the problem was the Mumbai bowlers actually bowling really well against him, and the Krunal Pandya especially. And I'm really surprised. Rahul Chahar got a player of the match, and it was four. Like, he got 4 wickets and he had bowled really really well. But to be honest, if you see, Krunal Pandya hit last few runs, they were crucial. Because of those runs, Mumbai had a chance. And also he bowled really good overs, actually, in death overs, like 17th or 16th over he bowled. And he actually created two chances for Russell, and also didn't give much runs here. And because of those overs and those crucial runs at the back, it really helped Mumbai to get a win here.
Yeah, Vinay, for KKR, the confusing thing is their weakness was probably their top order. Like, they didn't have enough. The strike rate wasn't good enough last season, but this season they improved that. But it's their main three players who they depend on: Karthik, Morgan, Russell, not clicking. So,
Yeah.
what can they do? Will they shuffle the batting order differently, or they just have to? These guys are talented players. Do you think they'll just come back into form?
See, we can't judge form based on one game, right? One game here and there.
What
Like
about two
they've
games?
been both the games. If you see, the top order was heavy, and
Yeah. Which
the
is
middle
surprising
order.
because if
Yeah,
you look at Sunrisers and you look at the other teams, even Rajasthan to a certain extent, top order is really solid, and you expect their middle order to be flaky. But here, the middle order is solid, but it's being flaky. It's like opposite. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I guess like the middle order is not exposed right now. It's
Yeah.
more towards they're trying to hit it out most of the times because they're coming
Mhm.
in those kind of overs.
Yeah.
So I guess with more games under their belt, if the top order actually fails or something, I think the middle order will come in, and it's a very experienced middle order that they have.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Sorry, Punter, were you going to say something?
No, no, no.
No, I was going to ask you this how do you beat the Mumbai Indians, man? Because like this, I think this game they should have lost easily, and they just came back, and this is going to be worrying signs for other teams because even in the last game against RCB they should have lost comfortably, but they took it to the last ball. So even on their bad day they're winning games out of nothing. So, and that's the scary part. Even you when you lose convincingly, it's still okay. Like, other teams will have confidence, but here you're not even losing convincingly. So yeah, your thoughts, how do you beat them, and do you think playoffs again?
As I said, we are actually going for the hat trick. So
Yeah.
hopefully we do that. But yes, definitely. The pitch is not as per the favor of the Mumbai Indians team.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
3 more games to go. Hopefully they do better. But in today's game, actually we definitely need to mention Bolt's last over. The way he bowled the last over, bang on Yorkers, um, getting to Russell also and Cummins. But even Bumrah, the last 5 overs turned the game for us. But if you see overall, the team needs to still work, especially on the lower batting order.
Hmm.
They have to take those extra run, those twos and singles, not go only for the big hits.
That's an excellent point because the pitch is stopping a bit, so you can't expect to hit
Absolutely.
every ball out the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't come in and start smashing it around in Chennai. You can do that in Bombay, in Mumbai, but in Wankhede, but not in Chepauk. And
So,
Yep.
Yes, Vinay.
sorry, one question, either Milan or Punter can answer this one. So, the effectiveness of the spinners that we saw, even though on paper, KKR had a much more better spinning options compared
Hmm.
to Mumbai. What was different in today's game between both the teams? What was the difference?
Gagan, can I take this first?
Sure, go ahead.
I think Morgan started brilliantly by putting Varun Chakravarti and Baji to open the spell, and then getting in Pat Cummins and Russell in the end. But I felt he missed the trick of not giving Baji again his full quota. Prasid was already hit for 16 runs in his first over, so it wasn't a pitch that favored him. He could have easily got Harbhajan again in the middle overs and completed those extra 2 overs. And having the experience of Baji, he could have taken those 1 or 2 extra crucial wickets, and maybe Mumbai would have been all out by 132. So you never know what Baji can do even at this age, because he has that experience. Whereas Bombay, in Rohit's captaincy, if you see, he started off with his pacers. He gave 2 overs to Jason, and then since Jason was hit, he gave 1 over to Pollard, but Pollard also couldn't do well. Even after bowling those slower balls, he realized that it is a spinning track. He especially got himself on. And if you see the first ball itself, he almost got a wicket of Shakib, and just gave 9 runs away in that crucial period. So that's something that definitely was the difference between Mumbai and KKR during the whole match.
Yeah, and I also think that Mumbai didn't have as many options as KKR did. KKR had plenty of options. And Milan, Puneet was saying about the middle overs, Bhaji should have bowled. Do you think that's more because of matchups, because Hardik and Pollard were there, and then with the spin, they could attack him?
Yeah, it was a really good tactic from Morgan. The reason behind is there are three spinners in the team, okay, and we know Pollard and Pandya can hit off spinner and leg spinner out of the park any day, and they know Deacock is left and right, and also Bhaji can bowl really well against him. Second, Rohit Sharma does not take risk if the spinner is bowling really good length and line in special in first 6 overs. That's one of the thing. So they use all the spinners in power play and didn't give a lot many runs in first six, and they use those spin quota up front. So they have, and what else they did really good is because of the spinner they used in front, we had overs of Cummins to use. So they use Cummins, they save Cummins over just like Rohit does it for Bumrah. He kept their over for the special period. If game is going away from them, they use Bumrah. Just like here, they use Cummins, and today Cummins was taking a wicket whenever he brought. So he took two or three wickets, I guess, at special in over when they brought. And that's helped actually KKR in restricting them to less than 160.
Yeah, for sure. Zuzu has a question for Vinay. Vinay is saying it was a good day for all the spinners. As a spinner, what do you think they did right? Something to learn from. Zuzu really is impressed with you as a spinner, but yeah, go ahead.
No, but definitely one major factor was definitely Rahul Chahar and Krunal Pandya that took the game away. One good thing that Krunal did, like he's a spinner who actually bowls really fast and tries to bowl flatter. And today, if you saw, he was actually looping the ball and giving it air, and that was something that he adapted really well.
Do you think that's because he read the pitch well? Do you think that's because he read the pitch well?
He, I think, got that from Rahul Chahar. He saw how Rahul Chahar was performing, and I think that's where he changed his game a bit based on how the pitch was playing and how he saw Rahul performing. So that was a big difference in terms of his bowling, and you saw the struggle that they had at the later part of the innings when Krunal was bowling, and they tried to take him on, and those were the chances that were getting there for KKR. So that's one important thing. And I felt KKR did bowl a little more flatter and didn't give it that much air. Like Shakib, again, more like a Krunal action in terms of bowling flatter. He should have maybe looped it up a little bit, but on and off days, they definitely, Mumbai Indians actually took it off at the end.
Yeah, man. No, I agree with that. Just before we wrap up, the best player, your favorite player of the match, each one of you. Vinay, you can start.
Rahul Chahar, for sure. Those 4 overs were amazing.
Punter?
I will actually go with the KKR batsman Nitish Rana. The only thing I think he could have won the game for KKR and threw it away in the end, but the way he's batting really well.
I thought you'd go Surya Kumar if you're going to choose a batsman. You're trying to be unbiased, huh?
I'm trying to be unbiased. Why? Because we saw Nitish Rana last year. He is a very good player, but he was lacking patience. He was like scoring 80 runs one game, next game 0, then again 70 and 0. So I think the way he's playing definitely needs to get some credits, and hopefully he'll perform the same throughout the season.
Yep, that was. I didn't expect that from you, but good on you. And Milan, your player of the match.
Well, I have to go for Surya Kumar Yadav now, right?
You can go with anybody.
No, to be honest, I really like Surya Kumar Yadav, and actually, see the way he played, the runs he scored at the healthy strike rate, that helps Mumbai to reach to that point where they can finish it with at least 150, 160. So yeah, I think Suryakumar Yadav played very well from Mumbai. But from KKR, I think I was really impressed by captaincy and coaching from McCullum and Morgan. They actually planned really well against MI. They almost beat MI, but well, unfortunate for KKR.
Yeah,
It doesn't-
yeah. I have to agree with Vinay. I think it's Chahar because he picked up the first 4 wickets and he started that procession of wickets. The opening partnership as well, he broke that. And like Punter said, the 6 that Gill hit, he didn't get flustered. He still flighted the ball and he got the wicket. And that's a good assessment of the pitch as well, and shows that he is skillful as a spinner. That wraps it.
One last thing I want to mention. But the
You
most
can mention
underrated,
whatever you want. It's your show.
the most underrated performance for today would be Russell. When Mumbai Indians were cruising with the ball, uh, when Mumbai Indians were cruising at the last stage, he picked up 5 wickets. That's not a easy feat to actually get on against any opposition at that stage. So definitely, he was a standout performance for
Yeah, and
KKR.
that too, 2 overs, he took 5 wickets, man. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
5 wickets
That's
is
how it works. Sometimes you can go for 30, 40. Sometimes you can get wickets. It's a death over. So and he actually really working hard on his death bowling. So that's good to have it and at the end.
Yeah.
But we have a question actually for all of you. Do you think IPL team should change their players according to the pitch, or should they keep it as it is as because they won last time? Just like MI today, Mumbai should have played one more spinner, maybe Chawla or Jayant Yadav, but they didn't change. They kept it as it is because we know Chennai, Mumbai, all those champion team, they don't change it unless until there's an eagle or something. So what do you think? Should they change according to the pitch? Should they add extra player or not, or just keep it as it is?
Yes, who wants to answer?
For me, definitely, they should have played Chawla or Jayant instead of Jason today, reading the track. But as you see, most of the times Mumbai usually backs their team. They do not like any changes, even in the combination. So maybe they're giving some chance to Jason in the starting of the league so that they can know where they are and where they stand in if they reach the finals.
Yeah, and Vinay, you want to give your opinion on that?
Teams pretty much try to keep to a winning combination. So that's the trend that is followed on IPL most of the time. So I think they're going to stick to that. But sometimes you can experiment and try to bring in more players. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And just to wrap up, last question. Huge game tomorrow. Yeah, huge game. The greatest team in the IPL, Sunrise Hyderabad, is taking on Royal Challengers Bangalore. Hyderabad losing the first game. They might even lose this game. I don't know. But Vinay, what's your prediction, man?
RCB.
You just know whoever is against Sunrisers. Punter, what's your prediction?
I will support SRH again, but my only concern with SRH is Warner. Can Warner pick up the form after the groin injury? He's playing after a long time. He had a break. He needs to pick him up quickly, otherwise get in Kane Williamson. Give him that extra break.
Yeah.
When they're playing actually.
Miller is your favorite player, man, Kane Williamson.
To be honest, apart from KKR, I really like.
Kidhar khilate? Where will you play him?
Nabi.
Yeah, I guess Nabi. That's the only place.
Then who's your spinner? Who's your second spinner on Chennai pitch? You were just talking about 3 spinners.
Abdul Samad.
But he's not. He's part-time.
Kane can ball too. Kane can ball too.
I think Samad, and also you have Kedar Jadhav. You can play.
Yeah, but then you'll have to work with part-time spinners. You have to work with part-time spinners.
To be honest,
Okay, that's for me.
I really like SRH before the start of the tournament because they had really good depth as well, and so they have good players. And I was hoping for Bhuvi to perform really well.
I think that was the problem. Yeah,
he will actually, and also it depends on Warner as well how it perform. But for Chennai pitches, you have to have Williamson. You cannot play without Williamson in middle because see, Manish Pandey instead of let's say if it was Williamson, they could have won. definitely, if it was
Hmm.
Williamson there in the middle, because Manish Pandey didn't have any support from any other for longer chase. And
He had support. He didn't hit. That's the problem.
no, no, like
That was the whole problem. I think after consuming so many balls, he should have smashed them in the end.
Because you saw how Abdul Samad came in and hit those two
oh
sixes, and
wow,
like
he hit really well.
maybe they didn't know that he had this talent. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think the middle order, the likes of Shankar and Pandey, they need to step up their game. Of course, Bhuvneshwar and Warner, you expect from them, like Punter said, also fitness concerns. But I think Pandey and Vijay Shankar, they have to step up if if SRH want to win these kind of games, especially when they lose the couple of wickets.
Yeah.
SRH always misses out on Sandeep. Sandeep has been very good for them, so he also needs to step up.
And Sandeep has taken Virat Kohli's wicket 7 times
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
IPL.
was saying. Against RCB, he always performs brilliantly. He's taken like three wickets in the first 6 overs, even when he was for Punjab and even for SRH.
Also, don't
Yeah.
forget Virat Kohli is opening, and
Virat Kohli is opening.
is also opening. So
Yeah, and Vinay, would you like any changes from RCB side? If Patikal is still not fit, like if he didn't recover from COVID, would you still go with Washington Sundar as your opener, or would you try someone like Azharuddin, or what would you do?
No, I think Particle is going to come in for Rajat tomorrow.
You got inside information, baby. Yeah, I think
Particle
that.
performed really well in the practice game too. They just had a practice game last week, so.
But he's going to be fit, huh? He's going to play.
Yes. Yeah.
And you one down, stick with Patikar, or would you bring in AB de Villiers at number 3?
I think.
I think
Maybe-
Patical will go out and Particle will come in.
Who will come in?
Yeah, Patinder will
Particle
go out.
will go out and Particle will come in.
Then who will be the extra batsman?
Particle will open with Virat.
And then one down.
One down would be they would go with either Maxwell or
I
So
think
they're gonna lift the order like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so. That's the whole. I think Virat and AB have already spoken to each other regarding AB doing the finishing and Virat doing the opening and playing the anchor innings.
But he's gonna be at 4 then. AB. He won't. The last game he played at 5.
Yeah, I think he'll be at 4. He won't. Last game he went pretty low, but I don't think so. He'll go this low. I think they can use Washington also as a one down player, or maybe a 2 down.
I think it doesn't matter where ABD play. The reason behind it, whenever he plays, he's gonna win a match for you.
I think ABD will play
He's a
2 down.
player. So I would actually whatever they have, right now ABD is coming at 5, right? It's actually good for whole RCB team because Maxwell is not gonna perform after ABD. He's gonna perform before ABD because there is a place for Maxwell to perform. Because if he's not performing at 4, if it's gonna go after ABD, then you don't have hope because Maxwell thinks they have a ABD and because of ABD he's gonna perform really well without pressure.
Yeah,
So
no, for
I
sure. I think that will take the pressure off Maxwell
Oh,
as well.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that wraps up the show. Any last thoughts, guys? Anything you want to talk about?
Mumbai, baby.
No, I really
All
thought
the way.
KKR is a strong candidate for this tournament, but after that last 5 overs, I doubting myself.
No, but Milan, thank you so much for joining us. Your first time, it's really good to hear your thoughts as a KKR fan. Vinay, as usual, it was a pleasure, man. The wise words. And Punter, it's really good to see you, but I need your team to start losing a bit, man. It's getting a bit boring every year. It's the same thing, man.
Sometimes I feel that Mumbai is becoming like Australia. The whole
Yeah,
world.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
The whole world hated Australia. I don't want.
Aren't they?
to happen to Mumbai,
Already?
but
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when your team wins all the time. People start getting frustrated. But I think credit if you can win games like these, it shows that you have weaknesses in your team, but it's character. It's not just skill.
Character.
Because I think KKR outskilled them for 80% of the game, but then the last 20, it was just that mental strength, and of course you need skill as well. But that mental strength and never give up attitude. I think that's what helped Mumbai in the end.
You cannot take light
absolutely
against champion team. You cannot take light against champion team. You have to perform the last ball.
Yeah, you have to perform. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope to see you guys soon and take care. Enjoy the games.
Yeah.
okay, buddy.